This video tutorial is based on my design project. I will guide you and explain how it was designed and for what purpose. The screen capture software I used was Snagit for the reason that it will capture the entire scroll down window, and I could also add speech bubbles for further information. As you can see here, we can scroll right down and my speech bubbles. I then applied the voice narration and video through Camtasia. This software is a screen recording and video editing software. Both Snagit and Camtasia are compatible to each other. The base of the design project was assembled in an online platform which is free to use, and it's called Sophia. It's just here in the left-hand corner. Sophia offers a variety of ways to apply multimedia in one document, which is a great idea. The software has inspired me to design the content of my project as a flipped classroom approach to learning. The document is made up of a variety of sequential sections. As we can see here, tutorial, that's where it starts, history, gender roles, and so on, which we'll look at a little bit later. The images, texts, visual and audio materials were added for differentiation and also to channel individual motivation and interest. So here we're going to look at the first section. You can see my new logo I've designed. Which can be used for further tutorials where students can relate to this logo in future. The title and the learning objectives can also be seen in this section. This gives the learner some insight into what they need to know or what they should know at the end of the tutorial. This is really the beginning of the actual tutorial. As you can see here, the subtitle. So here we have an image alongside a URL link to J.B. Priestley's play and Inspector Calls. By starting off the tutorial with this image and video as the introduction to the following series of individual sequential multimedia tasks. So hopefully this will instill a certain amount of curiosity and interest to the individual learner. Also, either above or below each section or subtopic, there's a set of instructions that I have placed with the intention that the learner can understand how they should organize and process the material. In other words, these instructions are going to tell them exactly what they should do with each subtopic. So for instance, in this particular subtopic, the instructions are to observe the context of the situation, the characters' reactions, feelings, and emotions, especially to their guest. That's relating to the movie, the clip, actually it's a play, this one, and Inspector Calls. Now the second subsection here is the history behind the author. Now the following three inserts in the next three subsections are PDF files which have been converted from Word documents. I have added a different background color to each of the chunks of material to inspire and motivate the individual learner. The main thought is to expand individual responses and ideas in preparation for the in-class group work, the discussions, and generally where some concept mastery just might occur from these tutorials. Now, each one of these PDF files that I have uploaded, they can also be scrolled down here. They can be seen on a full screen mode, and as we can see, the next subsection, gender roles, again is in a different background color, and the third subsection, the characters, I have inserted watermarked images of the main characters in the background from the 50s film, which adds a little bit more atmosphere, hopefully enhancing interest to the content. So we can see vaguely in the background, we can see a clip of the characters who are actually in the play, and there's the inspector himself, just there. Now the next section here, the synopsis of the play, I have used an audio recording. I've applied this to basically enhance the learning experience and to diversify the teaching approach so that the learning material does not become monotonous and boring. Again, we can see that the instructions specifically for this subsection is above the material. The following section, which is the plot, I have added a PowerPoint using background theme, color, images, just to add a little bit more of the sense of curiosity and intrigue in preparation to the plot of the story for An Inspector Calls. So when one is looking at this, hopefully it will entice the learner to go to the next page. Here we can see we've got the quiz, and what I've done here, I've inserted this quiz that I generated from classmaker.com for the simple reason to assess the general knowledge of the learned material from the tutorial. Now this last section here is probably quite an important part of the entire tutorial. Questions. Here the learner can add any queries, problems or questions which will be undertaken in the classroom. So this is quite an important part, because then the teacher can look at this and discuss the problems within the classroom for a deeper understanding. So finally, thank you for taking the guided tour through my design project, and please visit the project site for a more personalized view at www.sophia.org/tutorials/An Inspector Calls.